Alright, so here's my dwell readings once the engine's warmed up. At this point in time, everything's nice and plugged up. I got the CO enrichment plugged up. Vacuum seems fine. It seems to swing a little more wildly when it was cold, but I think that's what's expected. If I press the watt switch, stabilizes at just barely over 50, so I think that's exactly what I'm expecting. As of right now, frequency valve is on. So I guess the question is does it really ever stabilize, or is it constantly always going to be kind of searching? Seems to me like something's still not quite right. In my troubleshooting of my frequency valve, realized that I had a ground on pin number 7 of the Lambda module, and once I checked out both of the switches here, I realized that the thermal switch constantly had a ground on it. I think 1 or 2 ohms. So I'm thinking that maybe my thermal switch is bad, but I'm not quite sure whether or not it's supposed to show some sort of a resistance to ground, and then once the coolant warms up, actually have it ground out completely. Just as a note, when it was cold, it was showing a ground on it completely. I've unplugged that switch as of right now, and I guess I'm kind of curious as to whether or not the engine is running the way it is simply due to the fact that this switch is not plugged in, and the Lambda ECU is not seeing any kind of variance to ground. Any help would be greatly appreciated. As of right now, it seems as though my RPM, you can see it, not too bad. It looks like it's pretty stable. It's kind of searching a little bit, maybe a tad bit low, but I guess the biggest thing that bugs me is that the car is got a little vibration to it. You can sense that the engine is trying to figure out exactly where it's happy. On a positive note, though, I have realized that my exhaust used to be white, no matter what, really, and that has seemed to have gone away. So I'm wondering now if maybe I'm running a little lean. I'm really not quite sure. You can tell from the engine. See if I can hold this iPad here, but when it does stumble, the engine does move a little bit, kind of shaking the louvers. I mean, it's not horrible, but I can definitely feel it. I'd really like to see if I could get that worked out altogether, to have it run a little bit better without so much searching. At this point in time, I've already checked all vacuum hoses. Everything seems to be good. Everything seems to be fine, even in the type of agony. Everything seems to be fine. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll go from there. Just as a note, I wanted to show that the frequency valve does have power when I'm probing it. Both pins appear to have power, and I'm assuming that's normal as well. And like I said, the frequency valve is clicking away, or buzzing, or whatever you want to call it. I can't really hear it, but I can feel it. So I know that that is working. I guess at this point in time, I'm just looking to see what I need to do to kind of smooth this thing out. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for your help. Bye.